The tickets for this game, for this All-Star game, they've dropped by 50%.
The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star game in Indianapolis has dropped 48%.
We see ticket prices dropping very fast. Folks, the get-in price.
The WNBA just slammed into rock bottom with its All-Star game, and the reason is blatant sidelining of its brightest star, Caitlin Clark. Ticket prices crashed by over 50% overnight, fans are boycotting in real time, leaving the league alone with empty arena. It's a full-blown meltdown with money, trust, and the league's future on the line.
Last night, the All-Star ticket prices have been cut by quite a lot. They have been cut by quite a lot, and I think it is a bit of a problem. But obviously, you can see here, people are clearly selling these tickets before Caitlin Clark got injured for $300. And the get-in price falling to just $64.
The WNBA just took a $200 slap to the face. And the wildest part? It came from its biggest star not even playing. Caitlin Clark gets ruled out of the All-Star game, and boom, ticket prices crashed by nearly 50% overnight. It wasn't a gradual slide either. This was a free fall. What used to cost $121, suddenly being resold for $64 or less. On some platforms, they were dropping faster than people could refresh the page.
This is a hell of a theory because I believe Kathy has a systematic placement for Caitlin Clark to get hurt. She said it last year, they need the drama for clicks.
And this wasn't just some side effect of an injury, this was the curtain being pulled back on how much the league rides on Clark's back. One player, one rookie, and when she was ruled out, the whole All-Star weekend got exposed. Every platform showed the collapse. This wasn't a fluke. This was the economy of the WNBA unraveling in real time.
WNBA All-Star game tickets and kind of boycott this year All-Star game. That is because of the refereeing in regards to Caitlin Clark being targeted and pretty much not having a special whistle.
People weren't shy about it either. You had fans openly posting, "I only bought these tickets to see Caitlin. She's not playing. I'm out." And it wasn't just talk. They were reselling, canceling flights, skipping out on hotel stays. The ripple effect hit hard. Local restaurants lost business. Hotels lost bookings. The event wasn't just losing hype, it was losing revenue across the board.
Caitlin Clark getting hurt. Caitlin Clark lose her fan base and lose all the hype. Guess what? The league will sink. And I'm telling you right now, just like these damn ticket prices just did, sinking like the damn Titanic.
It's a Titanic-style sink, and honestly, that's not far off. This wasn't just about ticket stubs and empty seats. This was a harsh reminder. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's the foundation right now. Without her on the court, the entire structure wobbles.
Caitlin Clark gets hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't going to pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that their sport's growing.
Now let's talk about the numbers. A 50% drop in ticket value? That's unheard of in pro sports. Meanwhile, WNBA All-Star tickets were being dumped for less than a high school tournament in Texas. No exaggeration. Some AAU games charge more.
But obviously, you can see here, people are clearly selling these tickets before Caitlin Clark got injured for $300.
And this isn't even about hate, it's about demand. Caitlin brings eyeballs, clicks, merchandise sales, and most importantly, butts in seats. Her absence didn't just affect the All-Star game, it shattered the illusion that the league could carry momentum without her. And people noticed. Commentators noticed. Even some players noticed, but tried to play it cool. But you could see it in the attendance, feel it in the energy. Without Caitlin, the whole thing felt hollow. And let's be real, this is not how a professional league should operate. When one player sitting out can wipe out half the ticket value of your biggest weekend, that's a problem. A huge one. It's not just unfortunate, it's unsustainable.
They want to grow, but they want to grow a certain way.
Because I believe there's a system set in place by Kathy to allow Caitlin Clark to get attacked.
So now the league is in a weird place. It's relying heavily on someone it doesn't always seem willing to protect. Someone it hasn't fully embraced publicly but is privately keeping the whole system afloat. That's where the emotional whiplash starts to set in for fans. They feel betrayed, used, misled. They showed up for her, and the second she's gone, everything collapses.
They're going to mess around, and they're going to have creators, influencers, etc. This league will end up catching lawsuits from people.
This wasn't just a bad break. It wasn't just bad luck. This was the moment the WNBA's entire marketing and financial strategy got exposed, and fans aren't just disappointed. They're angry, they're vocal, they're selling their tickets, and they're saying the quiet part out loud now. No Caitlyn, no interest. That's not hate, that's market reality. And now the league has to face it.
Regular sports fans criticize, sometimes harshly so.
Let's be real for a second. Disappointed fans? That was last week. Now fans are done. And we're not talking about a few salty tweets or a couple Reddit posts. No, this was a full-blown grassroots boycott. And people didn't even wait for hashtags or press releases to start it. They let their wallets do the talking.
The WNBA is paying attention to these trends. And they're seeing firsthand what Caitlin Clark is worth to this league, especially to the All-Star game.
Fans were dumping tickets faster than WNBA PR could spin the headlines. We're talking $55 plus fees just to get rid of them. These weren't just bad seats either. Courtside, lower bowl, club level, all being sold like clearance shoes on a Walmart shelf. It was a fire sale. Thousands of dollars gone in hours.
Because the referees is not going to call shit on Caitlyn or nothing on you for hurting Caitlyn.
And it wasn't just about Clark being out. It was about why she was out. The vibe shifted, the comments changed. People weren't just saying, "Aw man, no Caitlyn, that sucks." They were saying, "Why are we even supporting this league if they won't protect the one player we came here for?" That's not disappointment, that's divorce energy. Which brings us straight into the next storm, the referee scandal. And look, I know every league has bad calls, but what's been happening to Caitlin Clark? That's not just tough defense, that's a pattern.
Yeah, I mean, there's a level of physicality that they're able to play with against her. You know, I knew it as an opponent.
A physicality you can basically get away with when playing against Caitlin Clark, because you want to know why you can get away with it.
You had Stephanie White, the Fever's coach, straight up say it. Caitlin is facing a different level of physicality. That's coach speak for, they are whooping her every night and refs are letting it slide. And when you've got commentators, journalists, and even former players whispering about it, that's not noise, that's a smoke signal.
Kathy don't give a damn about no referees. Kathy don't give a damn about no Caitlin Clark. This says it all. This says it all.
It's not just bad officiating, it's a system, a deliberate one. Fans believe Clark isn't getting a star whistle on purpose, that the league is letting her get roughed up for clicks, for viral drama. A little shove here, a blindside hit there. Keep it messy, keep it trending. But while that might get a few YouTube highlights, it's long-term damage. But just when you think it couldn't get messier, here comes the media meltdown.
The players in this league, I mean, they're heading into a new CBA to try to get a new CBA, but nobody has told their players, hey, why don't you quit attacking the fans?
So Alyssa Thomas, WNBA superstar, steps up and says, fans say nasty things, players need protection. Now look, we can all agree nobody deserves abuse. But you know what fans heard? They heard, stop criticizing us. They heard, don't boo us, don't question us, don't expect us to perform under pressure.
That's the difference between you and a guy on some garbage truck somewhere, or some lady that's an accountant in some office.
And that didn't go over well. Because like one fan said on Twitter, you're in the public eye, it's called sports. You don't get to pick applause only. This is professional athletics, not a team-building retreat.
Why don't you quit bad-mouthing the fans? Why don't you quit labeling the fans, yada, yada, yada?
Experts said WNBA players don't want accountability. They want attention, without criticism. And let's be honest, if the NBA said the same thing, people would laugh them off the court. LeBron gets roasted on a weekly basis. Steph gets called soft every time he blinks. And guess what? That's part of the deal.
This is what the damn commissioner is doing. This is what Kathy is doing right now.
Here's where it gets even trickier. A lot of these new fans, They're Caitlin Clark supporters, the ones buying the merch, watching the games, sharing the clips, and suddenly they feel attacked. Like they're not welcome in the community they helped elevate.
If there's one thing Sabrina will do when it comes to a challenge format, that's rise to the occasion. She won the 2023 WNBA three-point contest. Then later that same season, 2023-2024 NBA season.
And while all this chaos is burning through the timeline, guess who got completely overshadowed? Sabrina Ionescu. Now look, Sabrina killed it during All-Star weekend. The skills challenge? She was smooth. Three-point contest? Splash, splash, splash. She was out there making it rain like it was a Nike commercial. But did anyone really talk about it? Nope, because all the attention was on who wasn't there, Caitlin Clark.
WNBA three-point contest, Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu head-to-head, the Splash sisters going head-to-head, and unfortunately, Caitlin Clark missed it, but Sabrina, folks, that final round, Sabrina put on a show.
But the biggest missed opportunity of all, the one that really stings? Sabrina versus Caitlin. That was supposed to be the main event. The Splash Sisters, the shooter showdown we all wanted. The WNBA's version of Steph versus Dame, but instead it got postponed, or worse, maybe permanently lost. And for what? A cold shoulder, a weird vibe, and a league that didn't seem ready to handle its moment. This could have been it. A defining moment, something fans remembered for years. Instead, we got confused, we got controversy, and we got a giant what could have been.
And it's one of the worst things about this league. It kills the credibility of this league. It hurts the credibility of this league to be taken seriously. It hurts it real bad because regular sports fans are like, that is some crazy crap.
And that right there is the tragedy, not just for the league, but for the players, the fans, the sport. Because the WNBA had a chance to ride the wave, to bring in millions of new fans, sell out arenas, and make this All-Star weekend legendary. But instead, they fumbled it. Hard.
The entire weekend's economic opportunities have felt the fallout. This was conveyed with a July 18th post from NBA Central that wrote, quote, "The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star game in Indianapolis has dropped 48%.
The tickets dropped because they quit selling, bro. They quit selling.
All right, let's talk about the elephant in the arena. The WNBA isn't just in a weird spot. It's in a crisis moment. And no, that's not exaggeration. We're talking about a league that's suddenly dealing with a possible fan boycott, plummeting ticket prices, players clashing with the audience, and a PR nightmare, all while trying to negotiate its next collective bargaining agreement. You know, the thing that decides how much money the players get paid, how much they travel in comfort, how long their season is, all the important stuff. And guess what? It's all happening during a moment where the league just had its most embarrassing All-Star weekend in years.
But when it comes to the vendors in the arena, the shops in the arena, they're not going to have the same amount of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was there.
This is bad. This is bad.
And it wasn't just ticket sellers who got burned. Local businesses in Indiana, restaurants, food trucks, small vendors who prepped for an all-star boom were left with extra food and empty tables. One restaurant manager reportedly said they staffed up like it was going to be NBA All-Star weekend. Instead, crickets. People didn't show. Merch booths, quiet, hotels, calling in last-minute cancellations. What should have been a cash cow for the city turned into a financial dud.
That's why I'm not there. She's out here doing the Dougie. She's doing the damn Dougie.
And honestly, that hits. It's raw, but it's real. A huge chunk of this new audience, brought in almost single-handedly by Caitlin Clark, isn't here to pat the league on the back. They're not here to be part of a social movement. They're here because they want to be entertained. They want buzzer beaters, rivalries, trash talk, star power, the same juice they get from the NBA, NFL, and NCAA March Madness. And if they don't get that, they bounce. Simple.
And it's because people hear the kind of things they hear from Alyssa Thomas when she's talking about the fan, and they don't want to be criticized. These athletes in this league do not want to be criticized.
Which brings us to the real fork in the road. What kind of league does the WNBA want to be? Is it ready to fully embrace being a mainstream, competitive, money-making professional league with all the chaos that comes with it? Or does it want to stay in this weird limbo, too niche for real attention, but too sensitive to scale up? Because at this point, you can't have both. You can't ask to be taken seriously and act surprised when fans criticize coaching, boo missed free throws, or demand your biggest star get a fair whistle. So the WNBA just held a weekend that should have been a national celebration. Instead, we got ticket prices in freefall, frustrated fans pulling out, players getting defensive online, a commissioner caught on camera dancing while everything crashed, and zero accountability for the absence of the league's top draw. That's not growth. That's a PR disaster with glitter on it.
I can't imagine, folks, you know how many NBA players can get injured? And the prices would never drop to this low.
Now, here's the question. Is this a professional sports league, or is this still being treated like a side project? Because serious leagues handle stars with care. Serious leagues know how to manage controversy. Serious leagues don't implode over one player missing a game. They adapt, they deliver, they protect the product. So if you're tired of the double standards and weak leadership, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments.